Alright guys, welcome back to another Dragonheir video. On my server, it's the second day of the Mecha Torque boss. My server is a little bit behind compared to the most recent server. So yeah, my ranking for this boss is not really super high because I kind of messed up on the first day. But I have my chance to catch up. I have one more attempt left. I want to make a video on this last remaining attempt. I think this boss is kind of super fun. It has both single target and AOE, and I think it's better than the first, like the season 1 boss, end game boss, right? So for this boss, like the first skill, he's gonna summon 6 targets, 6 dummy basically for you to hit, and you can do massive AOE damage. And I would say like the majority of your damage probably coming from this part. When he does this skill, he's gonna summon 6 crystals, right? So you can just AOE it all down, and it doesn't die. Like the thing doesn't die. It will stay at 1 HP, and you can just do massive damage. So I think you will have like around 6 seconds window to do as much damage as you can to those 6 targets. That's why like AOE champion is super important. Alright, and what you're gonna do is like if you use AOE champion on this boss, you're gonna set their skill interval to 30 seconds. I know, right? 30 seconds seems like a waste, but if you have an AOE champion setting their skill to 30 seconds, it's worth it. Alright, it's worth it. It's a lot of damage coming from this skill alone. Alright, so here is my records. I did 5 teams. This is the Necro team. Over 200 million. Like any damage after 200 million is gonna be reduced by 90%. So yeah, I did like Necro team's good, Poison team is good, Frost team is good, and I have 2 Radiance team because I just can't do a Dauntless team or Thunderbolt team. So I gave up on that affinity. So for the last remaining attempt, I'm saving this to do a video on the most broken team I've ever seen. That is this one here. I call it the burn team. Like this champion is absolutely insane, okay? What is his name? Aschedis. Like this guy, when he does his ultimate on these 6 crystals, he does like 40 million damage on one cast. Think about this, one cast of this ultimate, 40 million damage. Completely insane. So for each stack of burn dispelled from the enemy, the damage is gonna increase by 75%. And this champion here is gonna apply a lot of burns. So let's say maybe he applies 5 to 6 burns from this skill, right? Let's say 5 burns on every target. 5 times 6 is 30. So he's gonna dispel 30 burns. If that's what this skill is saying, right? So this skill damage is gonna increase by tremendous amount, right? So I can't even do the math. So that's basically the synergy. Like this champion by himself, he kind of suck. He has 0 damage. I don't know why. Because on paper, it seems his skill is okay. But he just has 0 damage. So I give him this artifact. And this champion is actually quite decent. Like this hits hard. This skill hits hard, alright? And Aschedis, insane champion. I hope I can get his exclusive artifact. But if you don't have his exclusive artifact, this one is actually okay. And I think this artifact is probably the best artifact for this place if you don't have like affinity specific artifact or exclusive artifact, right? 40% crit rate, an extra 15% crit damage for each surrounding enemy. So this is great, right? And his gear is super good. Look at this gear. Quad roll here, also very good gear. There's quad roll crit damage. And yeah, his gear is good. I'm just gonna show you guys a run. Oh, by the way, these 3 burn champion, these are just 3 new legendary. As for the other 2 support champion, I'm going with the new shielder. So this is the Dungeon and Dragon champion, right? So he does very massive shield here. The only issue is it's only 5 seconds, but you can extend the duration here 3%, so not a lot, but like this is a battle skill, so he casts it very often, right? So I'm using this artifact so he can protect the whole team. And yeah, and this one I also set this one to 30 seconds interval, I believe. And for this guy, I think for Fire and Necrosis, you're really lacking some good healer. But this guy is a really good healer. The best healer from Necrosis faction affinity. All right, this is the best healer. Well, not the best. Poring is the best. He is the second best, but he's an epic, right? And the best thing is he can do debuff on the battle skill. Like the champion that can do debuff on the battle skill, your whole team is gonna benefit from this 3-piece effect, 100% uptime. So that's a very big advantage of having a debuff on the battle skill. Even though this doesn't do anything, like the boss is really not gonna have any effect because of this debuff, but the debuff will be on the boss, right? It will be on the boss, it just doesn't have any effect. That's fine. I'm only needing this debuff for this 3 pieces effect. Alright, so that's basically it. Like, let's take a look how broken the damage is from this team. Alright. So the boss is gonna summon 6 crystals here. Alright. Let's see the damage. Okay, burn. Ascetis. Okay, look at this damage. 57 million in 20 seconds. 57 million in 20 seconds. And this team can accomplish 200 million in like 1 minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds, 200 million, just like that. Right? Ascetis, insane damage. And the dwarf guy here are also decent. But the Carl guy here kind of sucks. Right? Kind of sucks. Wow, look at that damage. 100 million in like 40 seconds. Insane. And all their skill interval is set to 30 seconds. These 4 champions, all their skill interval is set to 30 seconds. And the last guy here, he's a healer, so I kind of need healing. And his ultimate gives a lot of healing, so I have to just have it being used whenever it's ready. Alright, look at these burns. Cheddars. Boom. Okay. Look at that damage. It's gonna reach 200 million in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Insane damage. By the way, for Ascetis here, I didn't set his skill timing to 30 seconds because on his passive, he can boost his ultimate energies very fast. He can boost his ultimate energy very fast. So what I did is I set his skill interval to 15 seconds each. Actually, his ultimate is going to be ready every 15 seconds. So 15 times 2 is 30. So it's totally fine. Alright, it's totally fine. Okay, keep it going. Because it reached 200 million, so the boss has like damage reduction. He takes 90% less damage. And I'm building this damage to building this team. My goal is to reach at least 250 million damage. I know it's very difficult because the boss takes 90% reduced damage, but I have to do that. That's my chance to catch up. I'm like, if I did full 6 runs, I'm probably ranked 3 or ranked 4 on my server, which is not good. Because the first day I kind of messed up. I had like one team did 180 million. That is kind of messed up. But anyways, yeah, this team, I think they should be able to reach 260 million, 250 million without an issue. Carried by Ascetis, the broken burn champion. So I'm just gonna let it run and be right back. Okay, look at that. That's probably my record. 273 million damage from this team. That is probably my record. And this guy is carrying hard. Alright, and what I think is, even if you don't have this guy, like the dwarf champion here, will also carry the whole team. If your goal is only like 200 million, the dwarf guy here is definitely enough to carry you to 200 million. But man, Aschetis, insane, right? 273 million. I'm gonna save here. Maybe I will be able to catch up. I did 133. So that's 1 billion, right? Yeah, 1 billion 33 million. Yeah, let me just quickly showcasing some of the gear choices for this guy. Like when you're building these DPS champions, one thing you have to be very careful is you actually need a little bit of HP and defense. Like I had this team built yesterday, and this team is just constantly dying because for Fire and Necrosis faction, there aren't so many good support champion or healer, right? So you kind of need like DPS gear. Look at this Dwarven guy. I didn't even build like full DPS on him, right? His DPS stats is not that crazy. That's why I'm saying, like, if you put your best DPS gear on this guy, he by himself will be able to carry you to 200 million damage, right? I'm using this like defense percentage chestplate because he was dying a lot, right? He was really dying a lot. If I just don't use any defensive gear on him, he is dying way too often. Alright, so that's just some notes I'm gonna tell you guys. As for my healer, I love this champion, man. This champion is so great. And the best thing is, if you're looking for a champion that can do multi-hit on the ultimate skill, this is the one. So if you don't use him like a healer, you can use this artifact on this champion. It works really well, right? And as for the new Dungeon Dragon healer, this guy is also really good. Basically this bottle skill, one of the best shield skill in the game, right? And it matches perfectly with this artifact. I know like this artifact is probably pay to win. You do have to pull a lot of Halloween dice to at least 35, I think, to get this one. So yeah, I think this artifact works really well on this guy. Alright. Yeah, and that's basically it. I will have to see my ranking after today. Hopefully I can finish like #1, right? Alright, so that'll do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Right? Is this the most broken AOE champion in the game? Aschetis? Alright, this guy. The Iron Fist. The Fire Fist, I mean. Alright, I'll see you guys in a video soon. Bye.